Welcome to First Things First. I'm Brooke Blurt and my pronouns are she and her.
I'm Matty Mills, my pronouns are he and him. And before we get started, we'd like to acknowledge the custodians of the land on which we record. And for me today, that's the Gadigal People of the Eora Nation.
And for me, it's the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. Let's get into it. Yeah. Let's go.
How are you? I know you've just come from a big, massive day doing an awesome job that you can't talk about right now, but super cool.
Just talking shit, you know? That's my job these days. I don't even know how I got here or what I'm doing, but I seem to make money from it. So.
Still getting that bag for talking shit. Gotta love it.
But actually talking about talking, hilariously, I'm losing my voice, as you can tell. I'm a bit crook. And I realise that I get, like, the sad blues when I get sick. Like, I generally don't like feeling ill. And I know that everyone doesn't. That's a very normal feeling. But man, it's like seasonal depression. It's like sickness depression.
So you get the man flu.
I get the man flu. I get real angry, real irritated, real sad, like I'm down. And all I want is some sun.
What can you do?
We're really into this autumn winter now. Like we're really in it. Like there ain't gonna be any sunshine. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
And on that note, we better move on.
The way I'm wasting my voice right now is I don't know what I'm doing. Anyways.
You're on your last few vocal cords there, that's for sure.
Yeah. Hey, don't be mocking my singing.
Can I tell you a funny story about this whole mocking the singing vibe, okay? On the weekend, I went and caught up with some friends. And I do the most...
Wait, you have friends?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, brother.
Who would have thought?
I'm so proud of you.
And you know what? It's probably a stretch naming them friends. They're probably listening to this
More
and going,
acquaintances.
Really? Are we your friends? I don't know.
Don't even have their numbers, just on Instagram.
No, just saw them on the side of the street and said, hey, do you want to hang? But no, look, they're good friends of mine and they're black fellas. But I did the most shame thing and I woke up yesterday thinking to myself, why did I do that? And it was that I was with someone who's a singer and I was trying to prove to them that I could sing.
Don't.
And sis, let me tell you, there's one thing that I can't do in the world and that I'm happy to admit, and it's to sing. But this person, Scotty Campbell, their name is, and they're a black fella and they're a queer performer and great voice. We were watching YouTube videos of like Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, and Scotty was singing along and having these amazing like harmonies and hitting these notes. And here I was sitting next to him, sounding like a dead, dying cat. I could only imagine what he was feeling like in that moment. Because when I woke up on Monday morning, I was like, I feel shame for myself.
Oh,
like I really do.
Oh, my God. You're that funny.
I'm like, did you ever get drunk and do like rap battles with like...
Well, no, I didn't ever do rap battles, but I've always sung, and I sung in church when I was younger, like when we were in foster care. Like I've spoken about this quite a few times. I've got a bit of a complex with singing, mind you, right? Like I just feel like I got forced to sing in church, so I didn't enjoy it. So for a very long time, I didn't really use my voice or sing.
What church songs did you sing? Because I sang in church as well.
Oh, could I remember them now? Like Lord Jesus is my saviour, like that kind of thing, you know? Yes, Jesus ain't saving you, hun. Yeah. Look.
I remember singing all of those songs and feeling really like, I felt like really Christian.
Yes. You know what? There's one song that I do love, and it is a Jesus song, but it's called Oceans May Fall or Oceans Fall Apart or something, and it's a really nice song, but it more speaks to ocean.
Out upon the
water. You know it.
I love that song. And now you see
may fall.
That song's amazing. But you see influencers now doing like inspirational videos with that song underneath the clip.
And they have no idea. Like it's a religious song. Like it's also by a Hillsong who are hugely homophobic.
Problematic,
FYI. Yeah. So
but I know exactly what song you're talking about as soon as you said that.
Yeah.
God.
But my complex with singing, it's so funny because now obviously doing Howard Fine and working in acting with teaching, you're learning how to use your voice. And I don't know if I actually had mentioned this on the previous episodes, but I had a big breakthrough with my voice where I went to a range that I'd never gone to before. So my voice teacher... So we had to do this exercise, which seems so terrifying. People say that actors they're the people that are running into the burning building. So actors are putting themselves in the fire pretty much, right? Every single time they're doing a character per se.
Yeah.
So with voice, we have to learn to put ourselves there, right? And this exercise was we had to sing our name. So you had to sit in a seat facing the stage, compose yourself, walk down the stage, turn around to everyone and sing your name in front of everyone. Like sing it.
Oh, my life.
And
this
I was
is just,
terrified.
I'm scared even thinking of it.
Every
cringy.
time I say that to someone is like, that sounds like my absolute nightmare and I'm having to do this. And it's fine because I did it. But I felt like this energy in my chest, like obviously it's anxiety, but also probably trauma. But it was all these emotions, and I was just pretty honest and vulnerable and said, look, I don't know what it is. I just feel like this heavy chest part. And so she took me to the wall, which is like the black wall in the studio.
Yeah.
And I had to yell at it. I had to scream, but not scream from my throat, scream from my belly, like a real primal yell, like a mother yelling for her baby if there was something happened, And I had to do that until my voice got to a point where it went like it dipped.
Yeah, wow.
And it was so weird. It was such a weird experience. So
acting is so fucking cooked.
I agree.
Like,
the
it's so
shit
bizarre.
that we're
Acting
doing.
training is cooked. Like, if you had no context, walked past the studio, looked in and saw what actors were doing, you would call the cops. You'd be like, somebody help these people.
They're mad. They're real mad.
Somebody lock them up. Like,
I
know.
Yeah,
no context acting class is just wamba.
We're literally doing improvisation at the moment, and it's
my favorite thing.
It is so fun, but at the same time, it's so cooked.
Yeah.
But this is a thing they say, right? And you would know, is that they break you down to build you up.
Yeah.
And you're right in so many ways with it looking a bit womba, a bit crazy. Yeah. But I have never felt better in my own ability in terms of what I bring to being an actor in some way. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because it comes down to truth and tapping into to honesty. And like, I find that with acting, there's always a part of myself that I need to go to get to like the conviction that I feel is going to be believed. And I remember in acting school, I got to my first week of acting school and we're walking through the halls of Whopper, and it felt like, I don't know if you've seen the movie Fame. It felt like it was like you're walking, you're looking in each door and somebody is just, going at it, whether it's playing a trumpet over here, doing ballet lessons over here, dancing over there, other people doing improvisation in this room. And one of the rooms we got to, all the students were completely naked. No clothes.
On top of each other or standing or sitting?
So, well, it wasn't quite an orgy. It was like... it was like...
we are not doing that.
Yeah, I know.
Howard Fine is not doing naked.
And they shouldn't. This was a prank that was pulled by a class of actors to intimidate the first years that are coming in. And it was a tradition that was done every year at Whopper. So the first years come and they're doing this tour of the school and they get to this one classroom and everyone's naked. And it's like, that's what in their head is what they have to do, and they just shit themselves.
That is such a cruel prank, but also...
It's cruel, and it's also like fucked up, and it's also psychologically like disturbing.
Yeah. And also how uncomfortable for the people that also have to contribute. Like I get if you're comfortable, that's fine. But also imagine being a part of the class and being like, hey, this is what we're going to do. Like I'd be like, get fucked. Like
it's normally the third year,
not.
so the people who are in their final year who have seen every bit of each other's bodies over the 3 years and have lived together and probably fucked everyone throughout the classroom, like had
that's
their
why
moment.
We have intimacy coordinators
and
now.
the industry is changing and I'm glad for it. But that was one of my first experiences at Whopper, and I was like, acting is fucked. Also, it's a mind game, like in those initial years, it's like trying to break your fucking brain in some of these classes. But I don't know, how are you finding it in terms of when you walk out of the door? Are you able to leave it there, or do you like go home and be like, what did I do today? Am I okay?
See, I'm like classic overachiever slash, a bit of a nerd in some way. So I go home and there are some days when I'm absolutely wrecked depending on what we've ended on, where I'll just crashed out. I think my first week I actually fell asleep on the floor in my lounge room. in the sun, like a little lizard, like close to the glass. Like
I can imagine you.
I was just so cooked by it. And now I'm probably more in that analytical stage where I know I've learnt the foundations now, and like I'm working and using the techniques that we've been taught to, because we're at the moment doing scene study, which is really exciting. So I'm playing a character called Georgie, and Georgie and I are very similar. She grew up in the Bronx, now she's in Boston, she's self-made.
Yep.
There's this big power play thing with her and her boss and this guy who's her neighbor, who is married, and obviously they love each other. I'm in love with him, but he's engaged, etc. Like there's this old big debacle.
Oh my God. This sounds like
it sounds like my life, if I'm being honest. Yeah, literally. I'm like, been there, done that. Next. Yep. No, it's called Spike Hills. Have you ever heard of it?
Oh, I don't think so, no.
Yeah, I think you would actually love the play. Like it's a real power feminist. There's so much to it that you could take it wherever if you wanted to. And Georgie's, from the Bronx, now in Boston. She wears these spike heels, which look like sort of medieval looking contraption type things. Okay. And I'm sexy. I love sex. I have many one night stands, and this is Georgie playing, by the way, so don't even cut this and make it out like I'm just telling you who I am. The truth comes out.
Rachel, you know what you got to do.
I haven't had a one-night stand in ages. I've been on a drought, if I'm being honest.
Ooh.
Yeah, not dating, not seeing anyone. Everyone get fucked and fuck away from me. Happy days.
This is good. I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah, no, everyone fuck off.
For you.
Are you listening to this? Everyone needs to get the fuck away from me.
I love it.
Yeah, anyways.
You're okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
You sure?
I'm in my black cat era.
Oh my God, don't even start on the fucking black cat.
Okay, let's talk about black cat theory. This is a new theory that has been trending. It has honestly been blowing up my fucking TikTok feed.
I know,
but
love it.
I keep going back to it and thinking about it.
Yeah.
So the theory is the black cat and golden retriever theory. It's a dating theory. So it's about relationships, and it's not just about romantic relationships. You can also use this in friendship relationships too. Yeah. They say that black cats and golden retrievers work really well in terms of because of the dynamic, but they're sort of contrast energies. So I would say they're complementary to one another.
But they only work well, supposedly, according to this theory and this TikTok person named Anna Christina.
Yeah.
And she has a whole masterclass on it. She speaks very much specifically about heteronormative relationships, boy-girl dynamic. But she says that the dynamic only works if the woman is the black cat and the man is the golden retriever. I think that this dynamic can work outside of that constraint. Like, I think about gay relationships, and I feel like there's always, I don't want to use the term like masculine and feminine energy. I want to use more like people who seek to be more the driver, and the person who likes to be taken care of. And
there's so many different ways as you can describe someone in personalities, right? But there are so many different ways and balances in a relationship. It doesn't always have to be a masculine, feminine sort of energy.
Yeah, well, let's describe the two different energies.
Yeah.
So a black cat is someone who is unbothered, borderline selfish, prioritizes themselves above everyone else, and is a little bit like, I don't give a fuck attitude, and what you're like projecting onto me isn't going to affect me at all, like unbothered, And the golden retriever is the always trying to make it up, or the happy-go-lucky, always excited to see them, perhaps a little bit, over the top and a little bit naive, and somebody who's always trying to win them over, I suppose. And I have to say, I'm a fucking golden retriever in and out.
Why do you say this? Because
I just am.
Look, my argument is that I think I agree of this dynamic and this theory to a certain level, but I do believe that humans and people are way more complex than just this. But this is a theory obviously based in relationships and a dynamic that can work and be really successful. So I do understand that not everyone's going to believe us about this,
Yeah.
and we're not some experts on it. But Anna Christine says that there are some really successful relationships that do work because of this theory.
Yeah.
Why do you say that you're a gold, and what defines you as a golden retriever?
I feel like I'm someone who always wants things to be smoothed over, so I always come to the table with a solution. Or I'm someone who, if I feel like there is an issue, I will be the person to say, hey, let's talk about it, let's fix it. What's wrong with you? Can I help you? What can I do to change? Like, I feel like I'm always coming to the table with solutions instead of being like, oh, well, fuck trying to fix this. I'm going to let you sort your shit out and I'm going to act unbothered and walk away, because I've tried it and I've tested it, and I'm the person who ends up getting upset because I feel like I'm too cold, I'm too negative, like I feel like I'm hurting the other person's feelings, and that to me doesn't sit well with me. So I feel like the golden retriever resonates more with me because I'm a bit soft.
Yeah, I hope it happy-go-lucky kind of energy, like a more optimistic energy, a bit more...
Yeah, but also like a little bit in a relationship dynamic. For instance, I'll give you an example. My current relationship, my partner, I would say, is quite black cat energy.
And describe him as a...
So somebody who I feel like holds their cards close to their chest, doesn't give their power away, doesn't allow you in too much so that you have enough detail to be able to, I don't know, like relieve them from their power. It's just like, I don't want to say cold because I don't think they're cold, but I feel like they are very, like, they can be very shut off with emotions and like have you arm's length away and act like as if nothing bothers them. And I actually have been like trying to take more of that on. I'm like, okay, I'm going to like test the waters.
And you can swap, right?
Yeah, test the waters and see how it works when I'm that way. And I did it and I didn't feel good. I hated it.
You're like, this does not fit me.
No.
Okay, what am I? I think I'm a black cat.
Yeah. I reckon, yeah.
I'm literally wearing black today, ironically. Yeah. See, there's another theory that I've also listened to. Someone has to love the other person more. So then I feel like the other person is kind of chasing in a sense. And I feel like that theory is a little bit similar in this black cat golden retriever, like where the golden retriever is like chasing this black cat and never can kind of like grab at it completely. And more recently, I mean, I think different dynamics and when you meet different people, but I think I'm a black cat energy by myself, but I think when I'm in a relationship, I give so much. So I don't think I am a black cat. In a relationship, I'm the golden retriever. I'm the happy-go-lucky, like, want to make memories and do positive things, and I don't feel like I've completely got all of them at hand, which is very representative of the relationships I've previously been in, right? Like,
which also stands to sort of attest to this theory that the woman has to be the black cat if it's successful, because you haven't found that much success in relationships. And so maybe because you are the golden retriever, you need to switch that shit, be the black cat, and then maybe it'll work.
Well, no, I agree because... The thing is, I also have just this energy where I actually right now don't give a fuck about anyone in terms of my people that I love and work with, etc. But and I've had the most attention in the last couple of months than I've ever had, pretty much, even more during the Bachelorette, to be fair with you. And I've not bitten. All the fishing are biting, and I'm not fishing because I just cannot be bothered, and I've got shit to do, and I want someone to chase me. I don't want someone, and I actually genuinely met someone who was like chasing me, and then all of a sudden
all
stopped.
of them have been chasing you. Like, have they not? Like,
where's my flowers, and where are my where's the romance? Like, where's the nice things? Not that I am like high maintenance, but it's like, and then this is the thing, this is the cop-out that I had more recently, is that I literally communicated with someone. I was like, I just don't really feel like you desire me enough in any way. Like, you're not really chasing. So then I'm like, well, I don't really I feel like I know what I'm bringing to the table, but like, what are you bringing to the table? And we had the conversation, and the blame that I got because I am so busy and gaslighted me and made me feel like as if like my life is too busy to have a relationship. Yeah, probably it is, but for the right person, it wouldn't be that. You know what I mean? So it's like I have been a black cat in so many other areas, but I think I switch out of black cat because I have to in order to let someone in the first instance. And then I let them in, and then they're like, nah, I don't want you. Nah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it changes.
Yeah. I feel
then
like...
I just won't give a fuck. Maybe that's my thing. Just not care anytime.
I think it's hard to do when you're somebody who naturally cares. You know? Yeah.
I'd say you're sensitive. Like, you're not sensitive in a suki lala kind of way.
I'm sensitive, but I am. And you know what?
Yeah.
I'm happy to be sensitive. That means I feel the feels. And like...
Exactly.
At the end of the day, I care a lot. And in my relationships in particular, I do want the person to feel safe. I want them to feel secure. I want them to feel like respected. And I think with the whole golden retriever, black cat energy, sometimes I feel like if that dynamic, which I don't think is the dynamic I would want in a relationship, and I don't know how much like I agree with Christina that this needs to be the dynamic for a relationship to work, because for me, I like equal playing field. I don't need to be someone to be chasing me or me to be chasing them. I actually just need respect. And like what respect looks like to me is that if you respect someone, you're going to make choices based on that respect. And if you don't respect someone, then you're going to make choices that are going to hurt that person, or, you know, you're going to be... you're not going to be loyal, or you're not going to be kind to them. But when I have respect in a relationship, I feel like other things that come with it.
That should be the basis of a relationship, right? There are so many other things that come into play when it's a serious and successful relationship. Like like you said, mutual respect. I think Chantel Otten says that this theory isn't new, and it could be damaging in some ways if you constantly focus on it. And that's I guess why I kept coming back to it. I was like, is this an actual legitimate thing, or have I got it completely wrong? Because like I said, humans and relationships and people are so much more complex than that.
Yeah. What does the perfect relationship in terms of dynamic, if you were to, you know, draw this in your dream, in your vision board, what does it look like? Like, what does the dynamic look like?
I don't know. I'm really finding it really difficult. I don't know what it is, because different dynamics have worked. But the thing is, I've also been in different times in my life. I keep referring back to a relationship I had in 2019 where the dynamic was actually just like so perfect, but values were compromised and non-negotiables. You know what I mean? So everything else could be really perfect in terms of dynamic. Yeah. But if the values and there's some non-negotiables, then you have to just accept that. So that's what I mean. It's so complex in that. And I think for my dynamic, I don't know, because I don't even want a relationship, if I'm being honest.
One thing that I'm learning in my relationship right now is that ego plays a role in dynamic.
Ew, I hate that word.
Yeah, so do I. And I feel like when ego comes into play, it's almost like you have to stop, drop and roll and be like, absolutely abort the fucking mission, because at the end of
Stop, drop and roll and get the fuck out of my door. That's what it is.
Well, I'm not that easy to like let them go. I'm like, okay, what I'm talking about is if you get into a dispute with a partner at home and you it turns into an ego fight, that at some point you have to then combat that with love, whether it is like going in and giving them a cuddle, not saying anything, and just being there, even though you fucking hate, you know, what they've just said or what you've just said, and you hate giving in, or you hate surrendering to an issue that you don't even think you're a part, like that was your issue. I still think that, like, what I'm learning is that, like, loving someone in those really yucky moments is more helpful than going, fuck you, I'm going to go and, you know, do something that's going to, you know, affect our relationship, or I'm going to ignore you, or I'm going to leave you. There's just something like that I'm having this learning at the moment about, and it comes down to respect. Like, do you still respect that person? If you still respect that person, even though you're having a fight, you can love them in that moment anyway.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. I think in the times where I think ego has had the biggest impact has led to a breakup. if I'm being honest, in my situations. David and I, pure ego. Nick and I, ego.
Yeah.
Many of times.
And that's what leads to really bad decisions in life in general, not just relationship. It's ego, people not wanting to put their pride aside. But like at the end of the day, if you really like someone, the dynamic, I think, is fluid. It has to shift. It can't be always someone as one way or there's one approach. For instance, the black cat fucking golden retriever theory. For me, that wouldn't work because even though I'm the golden retriever and I'm chasing, there are still parts of me that needs to be chased or needs to feel like I've got value
secure.
in this.
Yeah, of course.
So like for me, it wouldn't work. And I think that like this is more of like Anna Christina wanting women to feel empowered in their relationships. And honestly, I don't know what that feels like. I don't know what it feels like for a woman to have to feel like they need to be in control.
That's why I think it is like such a trending thing at the moment because I think from what we're looking at TikTok and I guess the trend of videos are a lot of dating videos and women talking about their experiences. There was a woman that went viral recently because she got stood up off a Hinge date. And the comment section about how relatable this was insane, like in terms of the dating pool out there and I guess Australian men, like not to fucking call you out again because you're absolutely pathetic. And I honestly, I like separate queer men from that or queer people from that because it's the Australian men that are problems at the moment. Sorry.
Yeah. But like you know what? I feel like as a queer man, if I'm not a part of the solution, I'm a part of the problem. So if you're a queer person and you're not speaking up against violence against women, well then you're just as bad as the perpetrator.
I agree with you that. 100%. But this is the thing, like the videos that are trending on TikTok are usually women expressing their concerns and difficulty with dating and how shit it is at the moment. And if they can feel empowered in that and they're watching Anna Christina's videos and being like, yes, that's how I need to be and that's going to boost their confidence or you know, they're trying something different. Maybe they're feeling insecure and then they become secure. Like whatever it is. And if that helps them, then sure, I'm all for that. But at the same time, like don't heavily rely on a theory that is so complex in a way. Like,
it's complex, but it reminds me of game playing, and that's something I hate doing in a relationship is game playing. So when I realized that there's a game of tennis with metaphor within the relationship and there's this little game, whether it's social media tactics, whether it's, you know, passive aggressiveness that they'll give you a nudge here and play this little game of manipulating your emotions. I hate that shit. And so sometimes this reminds me of putting the pressure on a woman to have to play a game to then feel in control of a man's emotions. And to me, that's a lot of pressure, whether you're a woman or a man. Like,
don't waste your time. Honestly, they don't notice.
But also, like, for instance, there's a video on TikTok where she describes, you know, there's two scenarios. She's like, don't be the girl who arrives at the party early, who stays and cleans up and helps, you know, him put the food out, do the dishes, and then leave at the end of the party. Be the girl who doesn't arrive at the party or arrives really late and leaves early and goes home.
That's me.
and like, to me, if I was a woman listening to that, I'll be thinking, can't I just be my fucking self?
Yeah.
Like, can't I just live within my truth and whatever that means? But like, is it really that hard? Like, there's this dynamic that needs to come into play. It's like a rule book. Isn't that fucking too much pressure?
Exactly. But this is the thing. I know it seems like games, but this is a thing in dating at the moment. And from what I've realized and from what I've learned is that there is such a matter of games in this. It's like, it is such a dog-eat-dog world out there in terms of no, seriously, it's actually so fucked.
It sounds like it's a black cat eat dog world.
Yes, and I'll fucking eat you alive because I'm not about the games. I'm also about being your genuine self. And if I was fucking late, I chose to be late. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Like, who cares? Don't overthink it. Stop overanalyzing and stop being a fucking pussy or a ball sack because pussies are strong and ball sacks are fucking little sensitive fuckers that if they get touched, they hurt. Oh, my God.
Well, you know
Sorry, no offense, Maddie. I know you got a pair of balls, but I love you and I think you've got big balls,
Well,
big booty balls.
I am, but you know what? I am sensitive, and I feel like if I was in a relationship and my girlfriend was constantly arriving late or disrespecting my time, I'd be like, see ya, bye, gotta go, catch you later. Like, I'm not the type that's going to sit around and be like, oh, you know what? You do what you want to do and I'll do what I want to do, and you disrespecting my time isn't going to be like...
Communicate, though. This is the thing. Don't overanalyze, communicate.
I definitely wouldn't be like, okay, well, that's okay, no worries, you can keep on doing that. Like, absolutely. Fucking no. I'd be like, girl, you need to pick up your game, otherwise I'm out.
All right.
Well, that's all we have time for today. Thanks for listening to First Things First. If you love us, leave us a little rating or a little review.
And if you want us to cover anything on the pod or anything interesting that you see and would like us to talk about, reach out via our socials. My handle is at Brooke.Blurton and Maddie's handle is at It's Maddie Mills, and we'll see you next week. Bye.